Welcome to Elevated Understanding. Chosen One, this message didn't find you by chance. It found you by divine design. There are no accidents here. You were led to this moment because something powerful is stirring inside you, ready to be awakened and unleashed. You weren't born just to survive. You were born to break cycles, to be the one in your bloodline who says, "This ends with me." Generational poverty is more than just a lack of money. It's a pattern of beliefs, limitations, and systems that get passed down from one struggling generation to the next. But here you are, the chosen one, with a fire in your spirit and a mind that refuses to settle. You weren't handed the tools, you had to build them. You weren't given the answers, you had to search for them. You are walking a path that no one before you dared to walk, and it's not easy. It's lonely, it's painful, but it's powerful. Because when you rise, everything changes. Not just for you, but for everyone after you. Let's break it down into 7 powerful truths, 7 chapters, to remind you that this mission you're on has meaning, that the weight you carry is shaping you into a generational giant. Let's begin. Before we dive in, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, because this is a message every chosen one needs to hear. If you feel the power of this message resonating with you, drop the number 77 in the comments. This isn't just a number. It's a powerful signal to the universe that you're aligned with divine truth and ready to claim the blessing that's rightfully yours. Only those who are truly chosen will stay until the end. And those who do will unlock deeper understanding, sharpen their spiritual awareness, and claim the blessings hidden within this message. And remember, this is knowledge that unfolds layer by layer. Rewatch this video as many times as you need to align your mind, body, and spirit with the truth being revealed. Each time you return, you'll notice something new, something vital that you may have missed the first time. Now let's dive in. Chapter 1. You saw what they never questioned. You didn't ask to be different. You were born that way. From a young age, you could feel it in your bones. Something about your surroundings just didn't sit right. You grew up in an environment where struggle was the norm, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. There was always tension in the air, arguments about money, fear of what tomorrow might bring. People living paycheck to paycheck, never looking beyond survival, smiles that didn't reach the eyes, dreams buried under the weight of responsibility. But while everyone else called it normal, you silently asked why. Why do we live like this? Why is lack treated like a tradition? Why is dreaming laughed at? Why does it feel like we're just existing instead of truly living? You couldn't put words to it at the time, but you felt the truth. This isn't how it's supposed to be. You looked around and saw people stuck in cycles, doing the same things day after day, hoping for different results. Generational habits passed down like heirlooms, not out of choice, but out of conditioning. But you didn't judge them. You loved them. You understood they were doing the best they could with what they knew. But deep inside, you also knew there has to be more than this, that knowing became your compass. While others accepted, you questioned. While others settled, you searched. You weren't given a map, but your intuition whispered, "There's another way." That whisper was the first spark of your awakening, the birth of vision, the moment your soul looked at the generational cycle and said, "It ends with me." You didn't inherit generational wealth, you inherited generational wisdom, the kind that says, "I see the dysfunction, but I won't continue it." You are gifted with the rare ability to observe the pain without becoming numb to it, to feel the depth of the struggle and still choose to rise above it. And yet, this awareness didn't make your path easier. In fact, it made it lonelier. Because seeing what others don't means you often feel what others won't. You had to carry questions no one else was asking. You had to watch people you love stay stuck in the very patterns you were trying to escape. There were times you wondered if you were crazy for believing in more. But deep down, you knew you weren't crazy. You were called. You were chosen to be the one who breaks the silence, who dares to dream, who interrupts the pattern, who says, "This cycle of scarcity, struggle, and survival stops here." And from that sacred decision, your mission began, not with applause, not with comfort, but with clarity. And the more you questioned, the more awake you became. You started to notice the little things, how fear was used to control, how self-doubt was passed down like bedtime stories, how survival became a source of pride instead of a cry for healing. You realized that just because something was repeated doesn't mean it's right, and just because it's tradition doesn't mean it's truth. Your spirit began to rebel against complacency. You didn't want to just survive. You wanted to live. You didn't want to repeat. You wanted to rebuild. So you started studying, listening, growing, looking for answers in books, in mentors, in the silence of your own soul. You started doing the inner work, most of it void, and slowly you began to rise. Quietly, steadily, with a fire in your chest and a vision in your mind. Because once your eyes were opened, you couldn't go back to sleep. Chapter 2. They called you different because you are. Maybe they laughed at your big ideas. Maybe they rolled their eyes when you talked about building something greater than what anyone around you had ever seen. Maybe when you spoke of owning businesses, breaking cycles, or leaving the city to pursue your vision, they said, "Who do you think you are?" And you started to wonder that too. You began to question yourself, shrink yourself, dim your own light just to fit into places that were never designed to hold your power. You felt like the odd one out, misunderstood, isolated, like you were speaking a language no one around you could translate. And at times that isolation hurt deeply. It made you feel like maybe you were wrong for wanting more. Like maybe you should just be realistic like everyone else. But hear this clearly. Different doesn't mean wrong. Different means chosen. You were born with a mindset that doesn't match your environment because you weren't created to adapt to it. You were created to transform it. The discomfort you felt, that wasn't rejection. It was redirection. It was life reminding you that you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to break out. They don't understand you, not because you're wrong, but because you're rare. You're the first one in your bloodline to think differently, to dream boldly, to ask, what if there's more? And being the first always comes with resistance, not because you're failing, but because you're forging a new path where none existed. Think about this. The tallest trees face the strongest winds. The first to climb the mountain always takes the hardest steps. And the one who goes first must walk through the wilderness without a guide. Because you are the guide for those who come after. Your thoughts, your drive, your vision, they don't come from nowhere. They come from deep within your purpose, from the assignment on your life that was planted in your soul long before you were even born. You were never meant to copy what's been done. You were meant to introduce something the world hasn't seen yet. So yes, they called you different. They said, you think too much, dream too big, move too quietly. They didn't know that what they were mocking was divine evidence that you were called for more. They didn't recognize the seed of greatness because they have only ever known survival. But you're not here just to survive. You're here to shift the story. Different isn't your weakness, it's your assignment. And one day, the very people who questioned you will look to you for direction because the same different they couldn't understand will become the very difference that sets everyone free. Chapter 3. You're rewriting the script without a manual. When you come from a background where no one taught you how to manage money, how to build credit, how to invest, how to build wealth, how to speak with confidence, or how to heal from trauma, every step you take feels like walking blindfolded through a maze. It's trial by fire. There's no blueprint, no mentor on standby, just you, your courage, your questions, and a deep inner drive to create something better. You weren't handed instructions. You were handed a mess. Generations of silent suffering. Generations of make it work and just get by. And here you are, rewriting the entire script without a manual. That's not just brave, that's revolutionary. You're teaching yourself what no one taught your parents and their parents before them. You're learning how to budget, not just money, but your energy. You're setting boundaries that weren't modeled. You're unlearning the belief that rest is laziness, that asking for help is weakness, or that putting yourself first is selfish. You're replacing survival-based habits with wisdom rooted in peace, growth, and purpose. And yes, it's hard. You stumble, you second guess, you make mistakes that sometimes feel like failures, but you keep going. You study, you listen, you rise, even when no one's clapping, even when no one understands why you're doing things differently, even when the weight of responsibility feels too heavy for one person to carry. Because deep down, you know, if not you, then who? You're the one learning how to repair your credit, how to save, how to invest, how to think long-term, how to build with purpose, not panic. You're learning how to say no to quick fixes and yes to legacy. You're not just trying to get rich, you're trying to get free. You're also building emotional wealth, the kind that money can't buy. You're learning to express your needs, to sit with pain instead of running from it, to love in a way that's healthy, not harmful. You're choosing healing over hiding, understanding over avoidance. And even though there's no one showing you the way, you keep putting one foot in front of the other. That kind of resilience, that's not ordinary, that's sacred. You're not following a map, you're drawing one. And every choice you make to grow, to educate yourself, to discipline yourself is a stroke of the pen. You're designing a new path that your children and their children will one day walk on with clarity, confidence, and pride. So don't beat yourself up for not getting it perfect. There is no perfect when you're the first. There is only progress. Keep going, keep building, keep believing. The missteps you make today will become the wisdom you pass on tomorrow. You are writing a new manual for the generations to come, one built not on confusion and struggle, but on understanding, strategy, and peace. And one day when someone asks them, "How did you learn this?" they'll say, "Because someone before me decided to learn it first." That someone was you. Chapter 4. Healing the Emotional Poverty. Two-generational poverty isn't just about what's in the bank account. It's embedded deep within the mindset. It lives in the way people think about themselves, in their beliefs about what's possible, in their relationship with worthiness and success. It lingers in the trauma of past experiences, in the unhealed wounds carried from one generation to the next. It's in the "I don't deserve better" narratives that are passed down quietly, like a secret code, embedded deep in the fabric of family and culture. That's why your mission goes far beyond just financial freedom. It's about healing emotional wounds too. The truth is, the chains of poverty aren't just material. They are emotional, spiritual, and mental. And until those parts of you are healed, financial success can't truly be sustained. You can't out-earn low self-worth. You can't achieve long-term abundance while still holding on to the belief that you don't deserve it. Your healing has to begin from the inside out, or the cycle will continue. You're doing the work that no one before you had the courage to do. You're breaking cycles of silence, shame, and scarcity. You're not afraid to face the emotional scars that others pretended weren't there. You're choosing healing, not just for your bank account, but for your soul. You're choosing therapy, journaling, meditation, prayer, personal development, whatever it takes to heal the parts of you that were buried under layers of survival tactics. You're unearthing the pain, confronting it, and choosing to release it, piece by piece. You're not just chasing money, you're reclaiming your mental and emotional wealth too. You're teaching yourself to believe that you are worthy of abundance, that your dreams are not too big, that you have value just as you are. You're reprogramming your thoughts, replacing old limiting beliefs with new affirmations of possibility and strength. You're learning to nurture your mind as much as your wallet, investing in your emotional growth as much as your financial goals. You know that true abundance starts from within. It begins with the belief that you are enough. You are worthy of peace. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of success. And you're brave enough to face the demons of self-doubt, trauma, and past hurt that so many before you turned away from. You're choosing to heal them, and in doing so, you're breaking free. Healing isn't linear. There are moments when it feels like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. There are moments when the emotional weight feels too heavy to carry. But every time you choose healing, every time you face the past with courage and say, "I will not carry this burden any longer," you are taking a step toward breaking the cycle for good. You're building emotional resilience that will carry you through every storm. And financial success won't just be a dream. It'll be the manifestation of everything you've worked to heal. You are rewriting the rules of abundance, not just in your bank account, but in your heart, in your mind, and in your life. You're proving that prosperity isn't just about the money you make, but about the peace you create within. And that is the kind of wealth that will last for generations to come. Because what you heal now, you give to the future. The healing you do is for your children, your grandchildren, and the ones who come after them. You're breaking chains that haven't even been formed yet. Chapter 5. You sacrifice now for what they'll thank you for later. While others are out partying, you're grinding. While they're spending their money on things that give them momentary satisfaction, you're saving, investing, and building something that will last. While others mock your boring choices, you're silently laying down the foundation of a future they can't yet see. You make decisions today that others won't, so your kids can live in a reality others never imagined. You know what you're doing is bigger than just the present moment. You're playing the long game. You're making the hard choices that might seem unpopular now, but you see the bigger picture. It's not about instant gratification. It's about the lasting impact, the generational wealth, the legacy you're building, and the future you're creating for your family. You may miss out now on the nights out, the fleeting fun, the material pleasures that so many chase, but you're doing it for a greater purpose, so that your children don't have to miss out on the opportunities you never had. You're sacrificing the now to secure a later that is full of options, freedom, and the kind of dignity that can't be bought. That's legacy work. And it's not flashy, it's not glamorous, it's not always rewarding in the moment, and sometimes it feels lonely. There are days when it seems like the world is moving on without you, when you wonder if anyone notices the quiet hours you put in or the ways you hold back from the things you want. It's the moments when no one is clapping for you, when no one sees the struggle that are the hardest. But you know, deep in your soul, this is divine work. You know you're doing something that will pay dividends in the future. Not just for you, but for generations who will never even know the sacrifices you made. The fruits of your sacrifice, they won't always come in your lifetime, but they'll bloom in the lives of people you may never even meet. Your grandchildren may never understand the quiet nights you spent planning. Your great-great-grandchildren may never know the pain you carried in silence as you made choices that seemed impossible at the time. But when they look back, they'll see the path you paved, and they'll feel the weight of your sacrifice lifting them higher than you ever could have imagined. That's the ripple effect of your choices. They go further than you can see, and they last longer than you'll ever know. You may not get applause now, and that's okay. You're not doing this for recognition. You're doing it because you know that the true reward isn't in the immediate. It's in the legacy you leave. What you're building today will ripple into the lives of your children, your grandchildren, and beyond. You're laying the foundation for a future filled with possibilities. A future where your family will thrive, not just survive. That's a mission only the strong can carry. And you're strong, strong enough to endure the sacrifices, strong enough to make the hard decisions, strong enough to build a future that will carry your name for generations to come. What you're doing is more than just surviving the present. It's about shaping the future. Chapter 6. They won't understand until they benefit from it. Right now, people may not see the vision. They may mock your discipline, question your choices, or misinterpret your need for isolation. They'll wonder why you don't partake in the same distractions, the same temporary pleasures that everyone else is enjoying. They'll question your hustle, calling you obsessed, overzealous, or even foolish. But that's okay because they don't see the whole picture yet. What you're building isn't for now, it's for the future. And when you're focused on something greater than the present moment, you can't always expect others to understand. The sacrifices you're making today, the long hours, the self-control, the moments of solitude and silence, won't be appreciated until they feel the fruits of your labor. But one day, the same people who thought you were crazy will drive on the roads you paved. They'll rest in the houses you built. They'll eat from the fruit of your labor, drink from the waters you created, and benefit from the peace you fought so hard to secure. And that's not your ego talking. That's legacy at work. That's the impact of the seeds you're planting right now, even though they're invisible to most. You don't need validation now. You don't need applause. The world may not understand your mission, but you don't have to explain it to them. Keep working, keep planning, keep building. The harvest will come, and when it does, it will speak for itself. When the results are visible, when your legacy is undeniable, the same people who doubted you will be the ones who seek your wisdom. They'll realize that your crazy vision was actually clarity. They'll see that the isolation you embraced was necessary for the growth you achieved. They'll recognize that the hustle they once mocked was the very thing that brought about the change they now enjoy. And you won't need to say, "I told you so." The harvest will do that for you. The success you created will be proof enough of the work you put in. But more than that, your success will serve as a beacon of hope for the next generation. It will show them that you don't have to follow the crowd to create something extraordinary. Generations will bless your name, not because you sought approval, but because you stayed true to your purpose. You remained focused, even when no one else saw the path you were on. And when your work stands as a testament to your sacrifice, the world will look back and realize that what you did wasn't just for you. It was for all of us. What you're building isn't just for today's applause. It's for tomorrow's legacy. The seeds you're planting today will grow into trees that will provide shade for generations who will never know the sweat, the tears, and the quiet moments of doubt. They'll just enjoy the fruits of your labor, the legacy that came from your vision, your dedication, and your resilience. Chapter 7. You are the answer to your bloodline's prayer. You may feel alone in your journey, but hear this. You are not alone. You carry within you the hopes, the dreams, and the prayers of those who came before you. The ancestors who dreamed of something better, who fought for survival, who longed for a day when the cycle would break. They are with you in spirit. Their voices may not echo in the halls of history, but their cries for change are woven into the fabric of your being. You are the answer to their prayer. They may not have made it out. They may have endured suffering, hardship, and unfulfilled dreams. But you are the one who will carry the torch forward. You are the one who will break free from the chains that bound them, the one who will overcome the barriers they couldn't. They ran so you could walk. They survived so you could thrive. This isn't just about you. This is about your children, your children's children, and everyone connected to your name. You are not only fighting for your future, you are fighting for their freedom. You are carrying the weight of the generations that came before you, and you're doing it with grace and purpose. You are the chain breaker, the curse ender, the standard raiser. When you feel the weight of this journey, remember you are not just fighting for a better life for yourself. You are creating a legacy of healing, wealth, and transformation for those who will come after you. You are the one who will rewrite the story, the one who will change the narrative, and the one who will set the stage for a future filled with hope and possibility. The burdens of your ancestors are heavy. Yes, the pain and the struggles they faced can feel like an impossible weight to carry. But know that you have been chosen for this. You are strong enough to bear it. You are capable enough to see it through. The very fact that you feel compelled to make a change, to approach things differently, is evidence that you are meant for this journey. You are part of a mission that transcends your own personal achievements. This mission stretches across generations, and its impact will resonate through your bloodline for many years to come. You are the one who will raise the bar, the one who will establish a new standard for what is achievable. You are laying the groundwork for those who may never even hear your name, but will certainly reap the benefits of the legacy you create. Make no mistake, it starts and ends with you. You are the one who will end the cycle of generational poverty. You are the one who will shatter the barriers. You are the one who will bring about the transformation. You are the answer to the prayer that has reverberated through your family for generations. The prayer for a better life, one of abundance, peace, and freedom. So when the journey feels long and the path overwhelming, remember who you are. You are not merely carrying your own hopes and dreams. You carry the dreams of those who came before you. You are the fulfillment of their prayers. You are the change they long for, and you will ensure that their hopes for a brighter future continue to live on through you. You are the key to breaking free from the chains, and the power to transform everything lies in your hands.